Roll the camera.
Okay.
Welcome to Tongariro News. I'm Shadara.
And I'm Robin Lee. Today on Tongariro News, a new wave is sweeping the country in the form of woolen graffiti. Scientists have invented an invisibility cloak. We help them find it. And the latest weather around the country. But first, a story that will turn your world upside down.
If you think the world is getting more and more upside down and topsy-turvy, it turns out you're right. Buildings in Germany have built an upside-down house, and before you think they may have read the plans upside down, they did it on purpose. The wacky abode was built as a tourist attraction as well as being a comment on the state of the world. The house is 23 feet tall and rests on the point of its roof, supported by steel beams in the attic. Inside the house there are beds screwed into the ceiling, upside-down wardrobes, an upside-down kitchen, and even an upturned bathroom. But it's not known if anyone has tried to go have a bath in it or go to the toilet. Normally a house like this will take about 3 weeks to build. This one took workers over 4 months because they kept getting disorientated by the strange angles of the walls. Many tourists visiting the house complain of mild seasicknesses and dizziness after just a few minutes inside. We go now over to our reporter Lily Dale, who is in the house with the homeowner. How are you feeling, Lily?
Thanks, Shnar and Robin Lee. I'm here with the owner of the house, Matthew, and I'm feeling dizzy. So what made you decide to build the upside-down house?
Well, I was bored.
What comment do you feel the house makes about the state of the world?
Well, all the world's topsy-turvy, I just wanted to follow.
What are some of the challenges of living in a house where everything's upside down?
Well, going to bed is hard because the mattress and the blankets will fall off, and going to the toilet is hard as well because whatever you do in the toilet, everything will come out.
How do you feel living in an upside-down house?
Very dizzy.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Lily for Tongariro News. Back to you, Robin Lee and Shnar.
Thanks, Lily. Even watching that makes me feel dizzy. And now for a story that is truly out of sight. Look out, Harry Potter. The world of science is catching up with the world of magic. Scientists in Europe have invented a 3D invisibility cloak which can hide objects by blending light waves using special tiny crystals, all stacked together, that look like tiny piles of wood. It all has been discovered that light can be controlled in a way that makes objects disappear. So far, scientists have invented a succeed in small objects, such as coins disappear, but hope is that won't be long before they are hiding cars, planes, and even people. People have always dreamed of making themselves invisible. One top scientist says the possibilities are endless, and we are all very excited. Unfortunately, since inventing the invisibility cloak, the scientists have been having troubles finding it. As soon as they put it down somewhere, it just disappears. The inventor of the cloak said it appears they are having trouble finding other things too, like their lunch, which they think may be underneath the cloak. What will this invention actually be used for? Hoping to see through the reasons behind the invisibility cloak, here is our spot reporter Heaven Lee with more on the story.
Hello, I'm Heaven Lee, and with me is Ngamara, one of the scientists behind the invisibility cloak. Hi, Ngamara, and thanks for joining us today. So what made you invent the invisibility cloak?
Well, I saw the Harry Potter movie, so I was like, I'm a scientist, so I should invent an invisibility cloak.
Can you show me how the invisibility cloak works?
Sure I can. All you do is pick the invisibility cloak up, stand up, and hold it. And voila, you are invisible.
Okay. What do you hope the cloak will be used for?
The good of mankind and to help the police catch robbers.
Can you show me where the invisibility cloak is now?
No, sorry, I think I misplaced it somewhere.
Well, that makes things very clear. Thanks for joining us, and we're out of time. Over to you, Shannara and Robin Lee in the studio.
Thanks, Heaven Lee, and now for an interesting yarn. A new wave of graffiti crime is covering the country thanks to an underground gang known as the Midnight Knitters. These wall-waving criminals are covering tree branches and lampposts with small knitted jerseys and scarves under the cover of darkness. Police have labelled these knitted activities of the gang illegal because their woolly crimes are being done on public property without permission. The popularity of the woolly graffiti is growing more and more public objects are being wrapped up with warm and cosy every night. But the problem is growing in length and width, police say, and warn that if the Midnight Knitters aren't caught soon, every tree, lamppost and traffic light in the country will be colourfully dressed against the cold. The problem is spinning out of control. They are having a close-knit group of dyed-in-the-wool criminals. We are stitching together a case, but it's not seamless. What needles me is there's no real pattern to the crime, a police spokesman said today. So far, the criminal knitters have escaped arrest and continue to pull the wool over the eyes of both the public and the police. We go now to a secret location with our investigative reporter Rogan, who has an exclusive interview with one of the Midnight Knitters gang.
Thanks, Shannara and Robin Lee. I'm Rogan, and joining me in this top secret location is a member of the Midnight Knitting gang. Hello, Cruz and Leighton, and thanks for joining us. What led you to the dark underworld of knitting graffiti?
To make the world more colourful.
Do you see yourself as a criminal?
No.
Why is that?
To make the world more colourful.
Apart from trees, lampposts and traffic lights, what else would you like to graffiti with your wool in?
Lampposts, the beehive, everything.
Is there any other members in your gang?
Yep. This guy, but I ain't gonna tell you his name.
Thanks for your time, Leighton and Cruz of the Midnight Knitting gang. We now go over to Siobhan and Taipapaki with the weather update. Okay, Brad. Thank you, Rogan.
and good morning New Zealand. Let's have a look at tomorrow's weather.
Starting in the far north, a completely unexpected tropical storm in Kaitaia with some pretty flash flooding and raindrops as big as your head. If you're going outside, wear a hat. Moving down the island in Auckland, there will be a mix of fair conditions and unfair conditions until lunchtime, but those conditions and you'll just have to put up with them. An anticyclone meets a tropical cyclone in the Bay of Plenty. Tune in tomorrow to see what happens. Will they fight or cancel each other out? Maybe they'll end up as friends. Wait and see.
In Napier and Hastings, the weather will be occasionally changeable and occasionally not. We have really no idea what will happen there. In Taranaki, a mild depression brings with it a very dull day with no highlights whatsoever. It'll be glooming, overcast and miserable all morning. However, things should cheer up by the evening. So don't worry, everything will be alright.
Wellington will have another capital day. There will be no wind at all. The day conditions will be so pleasant they'll actually be classed as extreme. The top of the South Island, Kaikoura, can expect to have day meeting friends for lunch, going for a swim or reading the newspaper. But whatever you do, try to stay indoors as the weather will be just terrible.
A real mix for Christchurch where rainfalls hit along with some unreasonable rainfalls, sensible wind and moderate thunderstorms and a smattering of very angry snow. And in the lower South Dunedin will be frosty, cold and unfriendly until late morning when the sun will pop over for a visit. Everybody likes the sun.
That's all from me. Remember, if it's raining outside, that's the weather for you. Catch you later, New Zealand. And go Shannara.
Thanks, Taipapaki and Siobhan. Well, that's all we have time for. We hope you've enjoyed the evening's broadcast. Thank you all for watching and we'll see you again next time. From the whole team at Wake Up New Zealand, goodbye, inohora.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Roll the camera. Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we are featuring an interview with a very peculiar-looking gentleman.
Scene 1, take 1.